Right. Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Had to get that cough drop, and then I was like, "Oh God, where the heck did the trash go?" All right. So, a little bit of movement, you could say, right? A little bit of movement. Some crazy details. We were looking at it, and we mentioned, certain things popping below where they needed to, and they absolutely did. Right. Again, 50 is that magical number. Right? Hold on one sec. Okay, sorry. Like, why is my kid sending me pictures of guinea pigs? Um, yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm not sure why he's. Yeah. So couple changes in there. Again, French manufacturing. Again, a little higher than expected. A little bit of adjustment before, but not really a big deal. Didn't break 50. Flash services, same thing. Now, German flash services. Again, we mentioned this one coming down, being really, really close. It did break. It went down to 47. Quite a big jump on that one. Um, Overall, in the euro, flash manufacturing went up, but still below 50. Not a big deal. But services jumped down, and that was one of the big risks. And we're seeing a little bit of weakness here. Not as much as could be expected. Um, but again, you know, kind of a small battle here. You're seeing as we're going against the pound. Now the pound, while the euro did have some positive data, even though it's showing a contraction, you can see here that the pound data bad. Not only was the 53, and again, is there much difference between 42.5 and 50? 45.1? No, but again, worse than expected. And then again, that services data dropping below shows there's actually a contraction. So the pound, you can see 217 to the downside. Now, some of that has to do also with the yen, and you're seeing the pound, the dollar yen down 89. 88. But for the most part, the pound is losing most of these battles. Pound dollar down 72, retracing in the last 60 minutes. And some of that may have to do with the manufacturing and data coming in 8 minutes. Um, you can see besides that, Aussie dollar is pretty much flat, right? 663, not much. Man, I must have caught 10 fruit flies yesterday, and there's like still two left. Yeah. But I will say, if you guys have flies, found an awesome recipe. A little apple cider vinegar. Put a couple drops of dish soap in there that I guess reduces the surface tension. And they go in there because they smell the apple cider, right? And then they hit it and then immediately sink. Works like a charm. I was like, what? Works amazingly well. Gotta say, awesome stuff. But obviously, the biggest mover on the board is a combination of both yen and pound, down 216, retracing in the last 60 minutes. Um, we'll see if we get anything out of Brinks today, or Bricks today. But right now, again, we have our flash services. And big question is, I mean, services here, lower than expected. Services here, big jump, lower than expected. Services here, also broke 50, lower than expected. Services here, also lower. We're at 52. Now, 52 is the most padding of all of them. But if you take a run like this here, where it was a difference of like four, um, that puts us at a contraction here. We're only at, or a contraction here. We only have a 2.2 kind of buffer there. So could we be could we see a surprise contraction inside of services? Again, it's already expected to be lower. The question is, how much lower is it actually going to come out being? And then again, new home sales not really a big deal. So in 6 minutes, we may see some fireworks out here. Um, there is data, um, not data, but like news articles. But Jackson Hole this week, right? Jackson Hole is Friday actually. Um, it's funny. I didn't know why Jackson Hole was where it was, but the history behind why Jackson Hole is in Wyoming um, is because uh, when they did it originally, um, they put it there because of they wanted Volker to attend, and he's a big fly fisherman, so there's fly fishing right there, and that's why it's where it was. I always wondered why the heck it was there. Um, it's because of fly fishing, because God forbid it's a true economic conference. No, 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 it's all the perks that you get with the job, right? Fly fishing. That's why it's where it is. But anyway, talking about what's going to happen. What's kind of the stance that um, he's going to have on Friday. Where is that really going to send the market off to? Some of the data today may actually affect it. What we've seen right now with, if there's a contraction, we may see it. And it may be a direct result of the news we get in 5 minutes. So we have that. Overall, though, again, economic downturn in France persists midway through quarter. German business activity falls. Again, this is all the data we just saw up top. U.S. dollar's winning streak unlikely to last. A lot of people have said that as well. And again, you can see it right here. Waiting the annual Jackson Hole speech conference, right? So everybody's talking about it. This will be a big one in 4 minutes. Tomorrow, we do have unemployment claims, and we do have BRICS day 3. I would actually expect we get some type of a headline for no other reason besides we haven't really gotten anything monumental yet. I feel like we're due for that big why have the meeting if there's no you know if there's no big news release or nothing that you can say from the conference. I feel like just for shock value, they're going to be looking at something. We'll get some type of a headline. So I do believe that's coming in most likely tomorrow. I don't think today. I think tomorrow will be the big this is what we've agreed upon. This is what it is. I actually wouldn't be surprised if they mention that BRICS currency, but is we've agreed that it needs to happen, and we've set a guideline or a committee or some type of path to make it happen, not just an instantaneous here we go, we got it. I think it'll be more of just kind of setting that expectation, and that's kind of how it'll be laid out. And again, is that monumental news? Sure, it is. I mean, if there's an actual plan for it, again, the chances of it happening with a plan are a lot more likely than just okay, we're gonna announce a new currency. I know they have some guidelines and ideas of how they want to do it, but I think for it to be legitimate, it's going to have to be on a broader spectrum. I think everybody have to be involved. There'll have to be a very, very clear path. They've been able to kind of get the funding in there. What is it going to look like? How is it going to affect commodities? I think there's a lot more that they haven't had the opportunity to kind of do. Um, but I do think that it is something that will be released, and I honestly, I think it probably is on its way. I think there's too many powerful nations involved with it, and yeah, had the dollar not been weaponized, I think it would have been a pipe dream. But once it was weaponized and people were blocked from the system, even legitimate people, I think there's more of a desire in the rest of the world to not be at basically the whim of the United States. So I think it's coming. But tomorrow morning, with all the durable goods orders and everything, we should see some. Again, preparing for that Jackson Hole, there'll be a lot more people talking about it. And then again, there's day 1 right on Thursday. The speech comes on Friday though, so we got about 2 minutes. We'll see how this one kicks in. There we go. Let's bring this back up. Get this one ready to go. So right now, VIX wise, you're seeing again there was that deterioration we mentioned yesterday. We're still holding just below 17. It's popping up right now. Again, we're waiting for the data. If this data is not earth-shatteringly horrible, we should see it deteriorate and push back to the downside. The dollar, again, dollar got really, really close to 104. We mentioned 104 would be an area where we saw sellers coming in. It made it to 103.98, and magically now it's pushing back very, very quickly. It's kind of like, whoop, we're right there, and now it's shooting back right before news. So it's always kind of funny how that happens. Again, 2 minutes before that news release comes out, and we're already seeing pretty substantial movement. I mean, about a 20-cent drop, very, very fast. We saw it this morning at 3:30, more or less. Here, let's steal this one. Nope. There we go. More or less, we've seen it go straight up from that 103.40 up to the 104 mark, about 60 cents, and now we're seeing the pullback. So, kind of what you expect. But again, still creeping higher. I think people are looking at this and trying to figure out, you know, what is Powell going to say, right? What is Powell going to say? Um, so yeah, indices right now. Again, we'll see in the next minute if these are going to switch whatsoever. They're all currently in the green from yesterday. Oil. Look at this sucker, just continuing to deteriorate all the way back to the downside. And you can see we talked about this level, and it was smash, and it started the base in there, and then that was it. It started the base right below that 79 mark, which is pretty cool, and then just continued to deteriorate down. And a lot of this, again, this is European-based data. The reason why I say it's European is because with all the contraction and everything we saw this morning, contraction, China's already contracting. This shows a lower demand when we have this level of contraction. So again, it makes sense. Oil, it does have a fundamental component. Right now, all the fundamentals are saying, oof, yeah, we're in contraction across the board, right? Double contraction, double contraction, double contraction, double contraction. What is the US total? We have a single. Let's see. Can we double contraction surprise this one or what? Come on. Pending, pending, pending. Ooh, so lower than expected, but it did maintain and hold above 51. And then again, ooh, worse than expected there. So again, a double red. Um, Again, the 47 versus 48.9, there was a chance it will pop over, putting it a little bit more deeply in contraction as far as manufacturing goes. Services just barely holding on. It's the only 51 out there, but it is lower. And, and again, this dropped what, 1.3, right, from where it was previously. Another 1.3 decline to the downside. We're in contraction territory as well. So, yeah. So that's kind of an interesting one. Let's see what the dollar's doing. Yeah. Magically, it's pulling back. It's almost like they knew, right? Here's where the data came out. It's almost like they knew. Um, Look, boom, 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 boom. Let's pull back right before the news, and then boom, right back down. Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's like they knew, right? It's like they knew. Dollar's got some more room to run to the downside, so we'll see how that plays out. But anyway, with that reduction, reds across the board, you're seeing again oil down $2, down to 77.66. It's awesome. Natural gas, woo, down at 253, down 1%. We're getting close to that 250 mark. I think that's a magic number. And gold, you're seeing gold and silver both up. We were at the 1890. Now we're at 1913, up 0.85, up $16. And again, showing that contraction, people are looking at it like, yep, the Fed's done. The Fed's done. And the response is, gold's going to go higher because of it. And I can't disagree with them. I feel like if the Fed stops now, we're going to see another surge eventually, and they may have to do more down the road. Silver up big. Speculators are having a field day with that one right now. We're pushing higher. Even with the dollar going up, even though, yes, it's a pullback that just recently happened, silver up big. I think silver speculators are really expecting Powell to, I don't know, maybe they're expecting Powell even to mention the word cuts, right? Maybe that's what the feeling is, that he's going to mention the word cut. I don't think so. I think the Fed was pretty clear about when cuts would come in at the end of next year. I think it's pretty premature now to be talking about cuts. But you never know. You never know. Maybe they know something we don't. But I feel like no, right? I feel like no. I don't think we could. I don't think cuts are anywhere close to coming in yet. But that's what the market feels like. Again, right now, a little bit out of proportion. Gold up 1, silver up 4, so it's 4 times instead of double. But we should see gold kind of move as well. No surprise here, right? Again, you're seeing weakness on this one. And what did it do? I mean, we're in the current candle right now, but yet it already started to move. And it came down to an area we mentioned yesterday. Look, all these buyers in here, and it looks like at 9:30, 10 o'clock, that's what we were hitting. I think we even drew this one yesterday, right? And that's what it did. It kind of put itself down here right for news this morning. So there was a news trade in here. It's popping. I would say right now with the sellers we've seen here and the sellers we've seen here, um, you know, we're probably due. Um, we're probably due for a reversal on this one. I mean, the data was there. Um, eh, is there a trade in this one? Ugh. I almost want to say like yes, we've seen the burst. There's not much change on this one. I mean, we've seen it there before. It is only a 10 for 30. I'm just afraid that we've already seen the reversal on it. Yeah, man, I want to say pull the trigger if it's right there, but it's kind of like, oh, we've already seen the spike. Um, right now, I do think that that's probably our top and bottom. I think probably somewhere in there, and then on the flip side, I think bottom wise, it's going to be here. I think we're kind of in a very narrow channel right now. I think we'll kind of stay inside of that narrowish channel. Um, I don't know. Man, it's like right there. I feel like that reversal may be in. I feel like it's in. Um, anyway, if we can get a punch up into there, we can get some faltering. Again, you do have this level right here. You can see we hit it right. You can see we hit it right there as well, and that's what we're kind of running into. So maybe we can get one more push higher, but I think the second this thing turns and rolls, I think it comes all the way back down to 64, 64 10ish to the downside. So, oh, God. Um, Yeah, maybe one more burst we push back down. So I think we're going sideways. As far as the LCM, you can see we kind of tagged that same level, right? We were hitting this at 8 o'clock yesterday. We pushed back down again. We were really looking for it to come down and hit 93.44. About 1 o'clock, it turned and reversed back up. And you can see this morning, actually late last night, we hit this one and we pushed back down. And then you can see all the drama at the 50, all the drama at the 61. It's kind of pushed all the way down to where we wanted it to. Um, right now at this one, we're kind of in between the two ranges, right? We have up here, and again, we have all the buying down here. This one probably has an issue with the 7 to 8 6. It kind of chopped back and forth with a nice push. It's not a huge kind of runner, right? At this point, it's only got about 17 more pips to go. I think at this point, the move is in. We were calling for some yen help for this to push back down in the reversal, and it's already happened. And now it's just kind of stuck sideways, and it's kind of like, all right, what do we do with it now? Right, so I feel like it's just not as good anymore. So, oh, sorry, I stopped moving because I was like, "Oh, here's that fruit fly." Like I said, it's one. He absolutely loves the computer screen, right? I've killed 30 of his closest friends, neighbors, and family members. With the cup on the other desk, but for some reason he loves the monitor. I don't know. He's fascinated with the light. Um, so yeah, we're kind of in the middle of the range. Same thing we saw in the Aussie dollar. Again, I'd like this to chirp and continue to push a little bit farther down. Maybe as gold kind of pulls back a little bit, maybe we see some kind of weakening in this one. But right now, being in the middle of the range, there's nothing really today with no major news for the Aussie. Here we go down. So funny enough, there's your 1030 kind of spike down, right? Again, we don't cover this one at the end. We cover this one at the very, very beginning. We mentioned that there's probably a zone somewhere down here, and it's funny. It did hit the zone and it did base and start to retrace again, and then came down and kind of used it, but we ended up hitting the 108.37. Um, we're not at extreme bottom here. Now we knew we had kind of an area that again we've hit it a few times, right? We know we got a zone a little bit farther down, kind of a secondary zone sitting right in here. I have to get in the habit of doing this. It's just easier. Uh, there's the zone. That's what we ran into. So I think levels to look for is right now if we take high to low, and again this may continue to push down. I think the peak is probably in. I was really with a push down here. I was kind of hoping we get a little bit more of a spike up. I'm just going to steal this one and put it there because it's already on. I was looking for that level at that 50%. Again, a one top base came in at 3 o'clock in the morning. We know why it's news base, and then boom, big push. But it's literally bisected by the 50. So if this is the true bottom, um, Um, so yeah, I think this probably rolls back down again. Can we break the level here? Sure, sure. Looks like it's a 13 pips. And again, is it a grade zone? No. I mean, it based here, came down, bounced, based here, bounce again, and it was just a confirmation. So there's not really anything down here to 107.80. We got some room to run. Technically speaking, I guess fundamentally speaking, there's no reason why it shouldn't be down here below 108. Europe is definitely contracting. The United States is just barely holding on. Do I need that one? No, bring this one down. Do I care about that one now? So yeah, I want those there. So yeah. So right now, again, maybe we get another push higher. 108.61, I think it's a decent level to be able to take that one short. It's got some room to run right now. Again, it got about another 30 pips. Uh, all right. So yeah, decent run, 10 pips. You guys know how I love 10 pip trades. Mm, trade select right there. 3.2. All right, there we go. Euro pound. So Euro pound. Funny enough, we talked about this being down here. So there was a little bit of a spike below when we talked about what's going to happen between these, this time frame. As you can see, it did drive down and then was holding firm at 4 o'clock. The data for the pound today came out at 4:30, and what did it do at 4:30 right here? Boing, right up. So we kind of called this one. We were talking about 85. Uh-oh. Okay, sorry. The guy mentioned me and something. I was like, what? Right now, after this big surge higher, again, you guys know what this looks like. Funny that it hit. It did. The 85.64 got hit. So right now, again, I would be short. This one, it looks like it's an enormous move. It's only about 40 pips to the downside. That is one daily ATR. But at this point, we would expect to see, again, we have a red, a green, a red kind of packed in. It did just go off the 85.64 we've been talking about. I would assume that this one would turn and be pushing back towards probably here. I don't know if it goes as far. Probably somewhere where this old zone was. But let's clean these old zones off. We can take this spike and bring it down to there, and we'll see how that one goes. So again, nice little move there. Again, if you've been watching yesterday, nice little spike up. But again, parabolic move up, and we kind of called this one expecting when that would be in. And again, the 4:30 window, boom, off to the races. So yeah, easy news trade. Euro yen. So again, we were looking for a target yesterday of 157, and we got it. Now, it did take a while to get there. We were sitting here yesterday morning, and you can see we kind of flirted with the 78.6, and we kind of pushed back up to that level. And it did. It rallied right up right before the news. And we had mentioned, hey, listen, this is a shorting opportunity. It did. It rallied up, and then boom, it exploded down. It finally grabbed the profit target that we were looking for yesterday. So the 157 is out. So we can take all the profit targets out. We can take this fibs out. We can take this out now. We're going to leave that level on. Right now, you can see we've even blown past the 70 or the 61.8. The next time we have any levels is all the way sitting down here, and I don't even love this level that much, but we do have a level sitting much, much lower. And again, it's driving right now down. Yen is getting some strength out there. Again, it is a proxy play. This one has about another 40 pips more to go. Not interested in touching it. Do I want to see a revert? Could we see a reversal from that? Um, Potentially, but it's not a very high quality reversal level. Um, could it reverse because we're basically heading straight down right now? Let's see. The 3 o'clock was there. What do we got so far? About 152 pips. It's got a 129 ATR, so we are past one. Actually, let's see. Ooh, that would be 190 down. Actually, if we do bounce down there, that would be 1.5 times past the daily ATR. that actually wouldn't be the worst place to reverse. Um, hmm. Shame. It is a confirmed zone with a base pop and go. Ugh, but it's not the best. There is a 156.50 buried in there. You know, that's actually it's not the worst of zones. I think right now we kind of see how it hits it. You know, looking for a reversal again. It was a very strong pushback, and then boom, it kind of gave us the confirmed chop we wanted. I don't care that it's a 78, but there is a 78.6 in there. I think there's probably again we're so far extended at this point beyond where we would expect it to be. Um, hmm. I will say for the future, oops, I do actually like that zone right there. For something there. And again, it may go a little bit lower. The 61.8 may come into play on that one. My God. So a lot of private schools today. This is their first day back. So like I'm getting tagged from like all my lacrosse players that are starting today. My phone keeps blowing up. It's like first day of school, first day of school, first day of school. It's like, oh my God. I got it, guys. First day back. My kids don't start till next week. And then the craziness will begin for me. Yeah, so we go from Jin's bus at 7:30 to bringing Reese to school at 7:35 to dropping Asher at his mom's, and that's the normal part, right? And then the afternoon, that's where we're confused of how it's going to happen. Um, yeah, so 156.52 again, decent reversal area depending on when we hit it. Oh, it just is. I, the reason why I'm saying that it's better than kind of the way that it looks is only because we've already pushed over a daily ATR. That would be 1.5 times to the downside. That tends to be where we see reversals. So it kind of does make sense. But again, what I would like to see is a confirmation. I would like to see a green, a red, right? And then the green bottom not be as low as it punches through the top, take it. And again, hopefully we have a 1 to 3. We should. It's a small zone before we get to all the drama here at the 157. But I do think that the 150, I think that this will help. Um, all right, pound dollar. Um, all right, so you can see this trade was out 1 o'clock in the morning. That was done. Let's take this guy out. Let's pull this off. Let's run some fibs from top to bottom since we do have a defined level. We actually missed this one. I had an alert that went off on this one, but we missed it by a little bit. We were talking about 126.07. It made it to 126.14, missed it by 7 pips. So it happens. Has a nice big pushback. You can see the 23.6 got blown through like it was not even there. Um, Right now, there's not even anything in the 50, but I'm not opposed to. Actually, we'll just throw this one on. Not opposed to this zone right here, right? It's at a 61.8. It's backstop. We'll see how much more we can surge. I have a feeling that we're probably going to pull back, but if we pull back to here and then we punch higher, um, I think both those are good. Um, the 50, I'm not as concerned about, even though it kind of matches this. Let's pull these off now. That's good. Again, that's straight down. Yeah, God, that one's not bad either. Look at that one at the 786. That one's not horrible either. And I could be swayed on either one of those two, especially with this right here, right? With durable goods tomorrow, we got some more room to run on that one. Again, we're talking about another 60 pips and about another 90 pips. Again, a lot of this will, parabolic move down, and then again the reversal data back again. It should kind of hold a little bit in the middle, right? But wouldn't be surprised if it goes a bit higher. But it's only got a 90 pip ATR, so it's got to move one entire thing higher. Um, man, hmm, hmm, that one's not bad. I'm not. Yeah, I kind of like both those two. Um, I'm gonna put an alert on that first one. Again, we're gonna go with the more aggressive one on this one first, and kind of see how we feel about that one. We'll see what time it hits it. I mean, obviously, if we put an alert higher, it doesn't matter. If this one hits, again, we still may be using the top one. We'll see what we'll see what is form when it finally gets hit and goes through. Um, um, so yeah, I think both those are decent setups. Keep both those on your radar. Pound yen. We know obviously what's going on with pound yen. Sorry. Um, there was that Harry Potter. It was out here, and again, this one just continued to collapse. So both trades from yesterday, both good. We can pull them all off now. Target, you can see the target actually got sliced through. With the news, we can pull the news now. We can pull this. Let's just update these. That was a good one. Whoops, not that one. I wanted to go with this one. Pull that off. This is we're sitting right now. Yesterday, we mentioned for the downside targets of 83, of 183.60. You can see that's what we're smashing into now. So that 50% target is hit. Let's see. Do we have any? Oh God, look, there's that drop base drop right there too. Ooh. Hmm. Will we get a reversal now? 253 right now. Daily ATR of 150. So we are past 1.5 times. Unfortunately, it's been hit so many times. I don't think it can hold much longer. Hmm. Hmm. Just three more touches in there. Um. Hmm. That's a hard one. If we can get a green, red, and then green break above, I think there is a long opportunity in there. It is kind of a parabolic move, but it's not, again, we're starting to see the pound come back again. But right now we need the yen to kind of ease up a little bit, which it's not because of, the proxy nature of things. This is not the best zone. It's hit here multiple times at this point, so it's not the cleanest and fresh. If you look down to the 61.8, it's again, you got all the buyers kind of establishing themselves here, but not really a clean zone that we can use. There is a small little Harry Potter below that coming from kind of a break of 182.30 ish, down to the 78.6. Um, I love it. 9 hour ago. Pounds resilience, mass broader fatigue, and then it's getting smoked. Um, Either way, if this pushes down a little bit more, I do like this one. I'm going to keep this one on the radar as well. Let's throw an alert on that one. I think that one's worthy of being notified of when it finally gets back up there. If it's today, tomorrow, Monday, Sunday night, whenever it is, I think I'm good with that one. Yeah, I think I'm good with all those. So, all right. So that's the pound. Unfortunately, again, this was the target we talked about. We literally just hit it and we're playing with it right now. So if it does turn and roll back up, great. I hope it does. And then again, we're looking for a short at 184.92. Okay. Dollar CAD. Dollar CAD, no surprise, surging up, coming right back down again. You can see that this level here, it hit it again. It ended up not going all the way again, but we know it's at a bunch of hits, right? Hit, 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 hit. Um, Multiple hits in there. We didn't expect it to hold. It didn't really form a Harry Potter, and again, it's just reversing back right now because of the news. Right now, this one probably comes back and ends up somewhere in here, right? As far as being newsworthy, um, again, unfortunately, this level had way too many hits on it before, to hold. Um, this one probably stabilizes back in here. Oops, not that one. I'm not as concerned about this one, but this one I'm definitely concerned about. Mm, 60. This is kind of what I'm looking at. I love it. FX options, right? Options are too rich without more USD gains. Why, yes. I remember when currency options first came out. Everybody was so excited. We're like, oh my God. Every currency trader that had any idea what options were was like ecstatic. These are going to be awesome. Can't wait. We can do all the strategy we know how to do. This is awesome. And then they came out and like the pricing of them and everything. I was like, wah, wah, wah. Quite disappointing. Quite disappointing. Yeah, right now there's no great takeoff point on this one. I think right now we're waiting for one of these two news releases. See what we pull back down to. There could be a case made here. This is actually a better bottom than this one is, right? It's a Tuesday news time, or again, kind of news time. 7. It's all right. I just don't like any of these here. And again, the top of this one, they're descending a little bit. It's a one candle base. So kind of this is what we're looking at right now, right? From there, and potentially this side, right? Potentially that side, right? It's kind of what we're looking at right now. You can see this level is acting as kind of a sticking point. Um, hmm, oh, hold on one sec, guys. Um, Instead, sorry. So a guy about embroidery. I was like, oh God, they're making my gloves and it's almost enough. So yeah. Again, I think those two levels are great for news. Right now, it's not in a great level. Not interested in getting long here. Potentially down here, but I'd like it to coincide with one of two news releases. Dollar Swiss. There you go. Funny enough, you got out at 3 o'clock this morning. That's when it finally hit from that position yesterday. It took all day. We marked off this one yesterday. Again, 9 for 27. It got us out here and then kind of came back up and then kind of pushed deeper again. So Um, right now, I would say that this is probably a similar scenario. Again, we're looking for a break above 88.20. Sorry, 88.28. Um, again, where yesterday's profit target was, I think at this point, whoops, I moved it again. God. I think kind of the same thinking on this one. I think mark off both the news releases. Again, dollar Swiss is not going to have as much movement, but I think top or bottom, if we use either of those two things, it may be a little bit easier. Um, yeah, yeah. I think right now, wait for the others two. I'm not interested in this zone. Um, there could be another short up here, right? But right now we're sitting smack in the middle, right? It's got 40 pips up, mm, about 30 pips down. We got about 8 hours worth of movement. So yeah, no good setups on this one. Sorry. So dollar yen. Okay, no surprise. Dollar yen is dropping 145, a little bit farther than what I thought we were going to hit. Again, the trade from yesterday is out. Both profit targets. Whoops. Both profit targets are hit and out. It's good. We're going to leave that one there. We're going to hold that one up top. Um, do we look at that? Again, I would expect the parabolic move back up again. Yeah, I think we look for the bottom. I think we find the bottom to set this one up for news. Again, parabolic move down. Since the news came out, it's moved about 83 pips. It's got a 121 daily ATR. So, again, it is double with the 4 hours at 38. So, we should see a bit of a retracement back again. But right now, the end's pretty strong. So, we'll need some dollar movement coming back in. I would not be surprised if this one retraces. Ideally, I'd like this one to hold lower and have this be a target versus a short, but I like the fact that it's wedged between the 50 and the 61.8. Level of basing, little confirmation, missed it by just a little tiny bit. I think those were all good spots. The reason why I'm kind of hesitant of just pulling along is because you can see here, there's just so much movement up, right? I guess there is a small base here. I guess we can mark this base off here um, as a potential, yeah, as a potential reversal level. Pushed pretty deep though, so it's like, it's playing with this right now. Eh, right now I'm gonna hold this short if we can come up to 145.61. Do think this is a potential bounce. Wouldn't actually be surprised if this comes down and bounces off this if we get one of these. It's this though. All right. Let's see what else we got here. TLT again, surging makes sense. Let's go to crude oil. So crude again, U.S. Open, nice little push to the top side. Kind of coming and Harry Pottering itself. Our target was hit. Again, we were talking about potential reversals. It'd been here a few times, and we knew that. And you can see once it started the base there, you're like, yeah, it's done. And that's exactly what happened. So right now, let's kind of clean this up a little bit. Let's run this all the way down to here. Let's run this down to here. Again, that old level may have actually helped this short come in. God, there's so much chop in here. So if this is the true bottom, if this is going to be the true bottom for the day, and we're going to start kind of fighting back again, I'm kind of waiting for a bricks comment on this one. There is a level sitting right there at the 61, which I think could absolutely be involved. There's one at the 52. Base with a strong push out of it. So that target's hit at that base. I was kind of hoping that this would be near a 50, but we've already hit. We run into. Definitely an area where we could see a reversal. It's a really garbage zone, though. It really is. It's a really garbage zone. Again, there may be a Harry Potter in here. If this turns and rolls right back down, not surprised because 23 is sitting right there. Um, all right. All right, so there we go. Natural gas. So natural gas, nice little pop up in the U.S. and then we push right back down again. Again, we know why this one's dropping. We talked about it yesterday. Talked about it earlier in the week. It's pushing back down, and we've hit the zone now. 1, 2, 3. We based above it 4, so it should break and continue to go lower. Looking to the left over here, you can see there's a little hiccup here. There's a little bit of a hiccup right here, and then we have the eventual bottom down here, right? And the bottom doesn't really have a touch. It kind of does, but it really doesn't. I would say overall, right now, that's kind of where we're looking for this to go. Is down to that 247. I think it probably kicks back a few times in there. Again, you know, the using the weather, I think, is done. I don't think we're going to get much more being we're this far into the end of August. So right now, that's kind of what we're looking at, right? Look for this thing to come down to 247. Okay. Gold. So gold, nice big pop. Now this one ended up kind of coming out. We were looking for it to go to either direction. Now, funny enough, this one at 8:30 dropped straight down very, very fast. So it's kind of like they telegraphed this one. It did move right back up to that area. Again, we were looking for those targets to be hit on both sides. Um, Funny enough, they did do the pullback and then launch that higher. So again, it came in as a weakness type symbol. Let's pull these off now. Get those out. Those targets are hit. Let's pull that. Let's get this. We are outside of that range now. We can pull this one. And unfortunately, this is what we're dealing with over here. A lot of chop. Here's the next major kind of touch. But are we at an area right now? We kind of are. This is not a great level. It's kind of touching there. Right? There's your touch. It's been here a few times. If this is where it turns and reverses, it kind of makes sense, right? It kind of makes sense. Um, Look, see, European session up, U.S. news all the way back down again. But we're coming back into those buyers at that early session, that 103.50 mark. Um, So yeah, if those buyers step in at that 103.50, I think this probably turns and rolls back down again. Although I will say, I think this one probably stabilizes if it does come back down again. I think we probably stabilize at this 103.50ish mark. Not going. I think we're able to maintain and hold above 2000 or 1900. There's a bunch of buying down here, right? I mean, it was slow, but it would have to be. I mean, Powell's gonna have to say, "Hey, listen, we have at least one, if not two more raises, and everybody should continue to be aggressive because labor pressures are coming back." Um, I think there's probably a short in here again. If we can get a confirmation on a lower time frame, that's where we look for the roll and come back down. It is at a level we are kind of at a parabolic move, but I think 1903.50 is where we're looking for. Silver, kind of the same thing. Now silver, we have tracked higher. It looks like, again, look at this pullback and boom. So let's pull these off for the European session. I am surprised we pushed as high as we did, but that's fine. It happens. 23 is kind of at a level. We're above the 61. Here's your next confirmation here. So let's pull the next short target there. Change that to that. Again, we knew we were in a racetrack over here, right? We actually had drawn this little Harry Potter trade. Missed the buy. It ended up hitting those buyers and pulling back. So yeah, this Harry Potter trade is out. Mm, we're so far from it right now. All right. So looks like 24.45 is the next area. We're looking for about another 20-cent increase. If it turns now, there isn't really much over here. There's a front run of his own starting at 24.35 ish. But I'd wait for this one to be a little bit more conservative. I think this one turns. Wouldn't actually be surprised if this one is red tomorrow. With it surging up this high, if we do not see the reversal today, I would expect there to be the reversal tomorrow coming in with the Jackson Hole comments. So yeah, yeah, I think that's what we're looking for. Let's go over and look at Apple. Funny enough, look at this. Apple grind, broke, gapped above, pulled back, and then boom, accelerated higher. Tesla, it's green, but barely, barely. It found a new gap yesterday. So VIX should be deteriorating. This should continue to move lower. And again, you see contraction, right? We see contraction. Oh my God, horrible US data. Yet everything is green, right? We're in that good is bad. I'm wondering if this is going to bounce now. Really wondering if this is where we're going to see that reversal coming in, right? It's 10:30. This is the last time we stabilize. Strong push, strong and balance coming off right at that European Open. This is where we see it. This is where we see it. Let's see what we had at the Open today. Now today, obviously, with news that's coming out at 9:45, as big as manufacturing after everybody else got blown up, it tends to be very, very strange. So just so you guys know, these are more like news-based trades because we were within 15 minutes from the Open today of seeing news. Okay. Typically, PMI days are hard because, again, you have some early movement here. You had all this overnight here, you know, and then right afterwards, you have boom, boom, right on top of it. So as far as opening print goes, you can see that the 9:15 is actually here. The 9:45 didn't really change its trajectory. It did find a bottom. Now, again, this is 8:15. This was late last night. Again, there was a zone here. Let me change this back to yellow. Whoops. You can see it kind of came up and came down. So it is technically a tested level. It was yesterday afternoon / like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock last night. And then it kind of did this morning at that 8:30 time frame. I'm not going to say that this is an opening print trade or this is one you should have grabbed. Could you have using the overnight strategy and done it with like the 8:30 news this morning? You could have, and there was a green, red, green confirmation of a reversal right here. But overall, this one was pretty risky because news came in. Now, did the news really fool anybody? Not really, right? It was already grinding, 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 grinding. The news was already out. The news, they already knew what the news was. So not really, again, not really a crazy level that you're looking for. NQ, let's see if there was anything there now. NQ was not fooled either. 9:30, look, 9:15 was red, followed by the green. And then again, the 9:45, it was not fooled either. It did the same bounce, had the same level over here, much, much bigger, right? There's your level of basing. There's your confirmation touch, and there's your hit. Opening print was over in here, though. So again, opening print trade, nah, you would have had to trade this one early, like 8:15 today. So not really an opening print type quality. Um, this one actually had two greens in a row, 9:15 followed. Same thing, had the same kind of, we knew we had the levels down here, and that's what we ran into. No opening print quality today, though. Again, a lot of whip back and forth. Looks like Dow's confused. They're like, wait, manufacturing did what? And again, Dow's been pretty strong lately. It's been green a lot of mornings. So, yeah. Yeah, not really. I think, is there anything we want to take off this one? There's a base in there. Is there a fib with that one? There is. There is. So I'm wondering if for some reason today we push up to this level, right? If it's a short, it was a 50%, and again a red, green, red confirmation right there, pulled down and then came back up and touched it. So you had this confirmation in, went lower, pulled back and went. Oh, that 5 o'clock time frame. Yeah, no opening print. I'm trying to see. Yeah, it's probably worth a short if we can take it off of there. And then as far as Russell goes, again, 9:45, 9:30. Didn't I mean again? There was your last kind of. Here's your confirmation touch of that zone. There's your green right there. There's your touch. There's it. So opening print, no. Opening print would have been right here. 9:30 did spike down and grab it. This one, I would say that, again, this one appears to want to come down. There's a touch there, though. I think this one probably comes back down. I don't love this one. Again, it's the Russell. The Russell will be the most sensitive to it. It's kind of in the middle of the pack, right? Worst one is Dow. If manufacturing is really technically bad, hence why this was bad, we should be pushing down. And magically, you see, why is NQ up so much? Well, because if the world, if services and things like that and manufacturing is low, tends to be where people push over into technology more. So yeah, it's there. Probably push down. And again, 9:45 release is not, you don't really want to do opening print for 9:45 releases. It is what it is. So, all right, that's it for today. Let's go ahead and do. Look, it's fine in that. It's fine in those buyers. Question is, will it be able to make a sustained push? Let's go ahead and do the drawing today. All right, we got all the usual suspects in today. Briggs, good seeing you, bud. All right, I'm gonna give this to 2:30, and then we'll pull the trigger. Ernest, by the way, yesterday, bud, you can't win if you're not here, right? No, that was 2 days ago. 2 days ago. Yeah, you gave it to him simple. It was your winning day. And you weren't here, man. But don't worry. Yesterday, Lady Luck. Right? Lady Luck came into it. All right, here we go. Winner of today's drawing is. Oh, did she do it again? I didn't say her name, just for the record. So that was today. She did. I'm telling you, man. Lady Luck. There we go. Look at that. 2 in a row. But again, I did hear that like gas was like over $6 again in California. So, so she needs all the pip chips she can get. All right. With that said, I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, again, I would actually expect some type of BRICS headlines. The unemployment claims, we'll see what that comes in there, and then obviously the durable goods. They're expected to be pretty bad, as well as the core is just slightly positive. We'll see. Oh look, crude declined 6 million barrels last week. So again, has the ability to raise a little bit. So not as concerned about oil right now because I think more of it, look, BRICS needs China to expand use of local currencies. Absolutely. 100% agree. 100% agree. They're going to be the driving force behind it. So, all right, with that, I will catch you guys tomorrow. Everybody have a great trading day. Enjoy this weather as we roll back into that fall type weather. And with that, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.